Good evening, fair citizens of YouTube. It is that time again. Mango has cleaned the house and worked out, and so now he earns the right to babble into the camera. And today it took almost the entire friggin' day to get the house clean because of little face over here. Makes cleaning the house quite a Sisyphean task, which is a word based on the ancient mythological character Sisyphus, who rolls a boulder up the mountain just to find that it rolls down the other side as soon as you're done. That's like living with Hooch and trying to clean up after this little bastard. But we love him, so we do that. And, it's been a wonderful day here in Long Beach. I really love this community. There's been music in the streets. They just installed some public bicycles, and so it's been this giant bicycle fest, people just riding around. They closed off all the streets to cars, or most of the streets to cars, and people just riding around. It's just really awesome to see a sense of community, and, pedestrians and cyclists taking back the streets from the cars. In general, I like to see that. But yeah, basically I was listening to Space Panther's last video after her birthday, which was a great time. I also got to see my cousin Kyle get married too. That was awesome. And really just, I feel like chiming in on the similar theme that, it's time to drop the nonsense, and it's time, at least I'm speaking for me personally, it's time to enter the next echelon of existence. I just like she said, I know too much at this point. It's, it's ridiculous to feel awful when you know exactly why you're feeling awful. And I don't generally feel awful because, you start your day with a kombucha, and you eat fruit in the morning and plant-based food throughout the day, like, you're gonna feel awesome. Like, if you don't, it's because your body's actually detoxifying itself, and that feeling is literally all the gunk and shit inside your body coming out. And once it is out, once you've burned all the crust off, you can shine like a brilliant star that you naturally are. And, it's not just about eating all plant-based food. It's not about just the title of being vegan. And I was having some conversation with coworkers, and really, at this point, I acknowledge that it's healthier to eat clean, grass-fed, steak even, than like processed, like fried soy products. Like, it's not just about vegan versus carnist or non-vegan or just omnivore, whatever the word is. It's about literally the life force, okay? And there's life force in plants and fruits, seeds and nuts and legumes, as well as there is, in high quality meat. Ultimately, it's, in my opinion, much easier to absorb the nutrients from, plants. I think they're more easily assimilable by the body. It's a complex nutritional discussion, but what I can say is that in the last 2 years since I've started eating more of a plant-based diet, I gave up the dairy, my migraines have virtually vanished. I don't have this feeling of just kind of like gut discomfort. Like, digestion is a wonderful, miraculous process when you're not eating friggin' cheese all the time. Like, cheese, I loved cheese more than any other person on this planet, including you. I know how much you love cheese. I loved it more, I guarantee it. I was in friggin' love. I was addicted to cheese. And I'm willing to say that after a few months of breaking that addiction, because it is addictive, there's actually opium in the cheese. Google cheese opium, and you will find what I'm talking about. Milk from a cow is designed to make a baby cow into a full-size cow in a matter of weeks, and it does that by basically, one, providing nutrients, yeah, in a sense, but also it makes it so the baby cow is just addicted to it and just can't stop drinking the milk, and that's the purpose. There's actually opium in the cheese. Anyway, I feel amazing in the last 2 years, since making this shift. Really focusing on the microbiome, the probiotics, the gut flora, and that, like I said, starting the day with a kombucha, which is a fermented tea, is a great way to do it. There's lots of other ways, but that's a way that works really well for me. Keeps me energized throughout the day. But this is the foundation, and this is what Panther's talking about. This is a foundation from which to launch into a whole other orbital of existence. And the beauty is that it's all right here. It's all right here, and there's no point in stopping or slowing at this, at this particular juncture. It's time to just blast off and become 100% potential, or at least start striving for that even faster. I would say that even on my best days, I'm probably at maybe between 11 and 13% of my potential. As awesome as I can feel in the course of a day, and as many of things as I would say I've achieved, not necessarily just external achievements, but just I consider emotional balance to be an achievement. I consider physical strength to be an achievement. I consider flexibility to be an achievement. The ability to interact with others without judging them, condemning them, or just spewing curses and vitriol on them, I consider to be an achievement. I feel like I interact with people in a very beneficial way, and it's only going up from here. And, 28, very significant number for Saturn, in a 7-year cycle is applicable to many things. All of the cells in the body regenerate every 7 years. Different parts of the body regenerate faster or slower, but I think in general the bones regenerate every 7 years. So we're whole new people every 7 years. All of our cells are brand new. And the question is, are these cells going to be immaculate and perfect and electrically vibrant as they were when we were born? Or are we going to flood our body with toxins so that with each new incarnation and development of the new cells, are they going to lose their integrity? Is that DNA going to become more and more frayed? It dissolves. That's the telomeres, as it's known as scientific people. The DNA loses its integrity, and so as we age, the DNA is all right, and so outwardly that reflects in wrinkles, and our eyes deteriorate, and our bones hurt, and our joints hurt, But the question is begged, if we could maintain the integrity of the DNA with each new cycle, would we actually age? This is it's an open question, but there are people throughout history who have demonstrated extremely long life by consuming not more than the body is actually asking for, or more than the body actually needs. Herbs and just life force right from nature. There are people who have lived, hundreds of years before in our, not that it's a primary source of, much rigor, but, even in the ancient texts, the first humans supposedly lived hundreds of years, and now 72, and that's all we got? It's because we're living in a toxic environment, and we can fight against that. We can rise above the gunk, but not as long as we're just going to KFC, and we're just watching a football game, and we're just drinking friggin' Pabst and Keystone. You know what? Even the good beer, I'm trying to wind that down. The more that I can work out, the less I want to drink. How a sick person feels when they're high, right? They take an OxyContin and they're all sick. That's how a healthy person feels all the time, okay? When your body's actually filled with light and vibrant, okay? It's like you're friggin' tripping. You're just on this awesome stuff all the time, and that awesome stuff is the electricity flowing through your body. When all of that energy doesn't have blockages, okay? What is it? When energy flows easily, that's ease, right? And when energy does not flow easily, you have dis-ease. Oh, very simple, right? Everything's hidden in the language. And it's not just about being free from disease, but it's about having the energy flow perfectly throughout the entire body. And being able to achieve everything that a human being was designed to achieve, okay? Standing up for what's right, being able to leap over obstacles, being able to plow through resistance, and when someone says something weird to you or gives you some strange energy, you just plow right through that shit. I don't care. I'm having a great day, and I'm not going to let some freaking weird person mess it up. In fact, if you just look people in the eye and you just give them a smile and say something nice to them, you don't have to be like, some of the white people in Southern California are the squirreliest people I've ever seen. It's like you look at them and they just, what's happening? You know, for some reason with the Hispanics that doesn't happen. With the black people, they'll just come on full on. They'll just interact with you more than anyone else. I'm sure that any women watching this video know what I'm talking about. But, you know, I just came back from Vaughn's. Hey, what's up, Red? I hope you don't take offense to that. And I was like, not at this point, son. You know, it's just being light and vibrant and ready to interact with the world. That's what wellness is. It's not just about being free from disease. And it's time to drop the nonsense. For me, 27, 9 times 3, and 2 lunar cycles, that's me, alright? 28's gonna be great too. But for me, 3 times 9, 3 times 3 times 3, that's druidic magic right there. And I'm ready to blast through any obstacles that dare to stand in my way. And I will break them with a fist or with a mind. Or however it may come. Anyway, that's my little power speech for upcoming birthday and just in general. You know what? We spark each other up. People inspire me, and hopefully, you know, somebody watch my videos and be like, you know what? It's time to drop the bullshit and get on the launch pad because we going to space, son. All right? Interstellar.